Today is Christmas ornaments, so I have 3 ornaments that are easy and unique. I don't think I've seen any like this before. Hi, my name is Cindy, aka Z9designs. So sit back and enjoy the ornaments that are original and are really cool. So with that being said, let's get on and look at the stillness of the night. That is what I'm going to name my collection. DIY number 1, snow globe ornament. The supplies needed include a small bottle with lid, Epsom salt, small Christmas tree, velvet and organza ribbon, an eye hook, hot glue, and a thumbtack. A thumbtack? Well, you'll see. I found a small glass bottle in my stash and I cleaned it up with soap and water, and then in addition I had to use a bit of glue gun. After that, I used hot glue on the bottom of the Christmas tree and I pushed it down to the bottom of the jar. Then I added some Epsom salt to cover the bottom of the tree. It's looking very wintry. I'm not ready for that yet. I took a thumbtack and I punched it into the middle of the lid, and then I twisted an eye hook for the holder. Then I flipped it over and I added some E6000 and hot glue for security. And I keep forgetting, I got some E6000 and it was black, and that is okay. It worked out just fine. I didn't know that it came in different colors, but it does. Next, I added some green velvet ribbon around the lid of the jar and tied a bow and hot glued it to the lid. See, I wanted it to look a little fancy, so that's why I used the velvet ribbon. I took some green organza ribbon and I made a holder to put on the tree. And this looks so upscale and beautiful. Also, it was easy to do. However, a plastic jar would also work. So let me know what you think. DIY number 2. The supplies needed include 4 Jenga blocks, hot glue, wood glue, black acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, white organza ribbon, and 2 wooden snowflakes and an eye hook. And of course, we also need that thumbtack. As far as I know, this is an original ornament also. I took 4 Jenga blocks and glued them together using hot glue and wood glue. But I'm finding that the hot glue, I just don't really like it on the Jenga blocks. I like to use the Dollar Tree wood glue. I think it works out a lot better. Then I painted the square all black. So you can see now that this is going to be a modern ornament. Then I took 2 snowflakes that I had in my stash and I painted them using white acrylic paint. And once they were dry, I put 1 on each side of the square. And I adhered them to the square just in 2 spots by using wood glue. Because it only fit on one side, it didn't fit on all 4 sides. But it is strong enough so they're not going to fall off. Now here again, the trusty old thumbtack that was used to make an indentation at the top of the ornament. And then I just took the eye hook and I twisted that into the opening and used that as a hanger. I have seen people use jute and they just use hot glue and glue the jute on the back, but I wanted this one to look a little more finished, a little bit more cool. I don't know. Maybe you'll find this type of ornament next year in the Christmas store. Who knows? At the very end, I took a white organza ribbon and that was threaded through the eye hook and hung on the tree. Now, I didn't have the skinniest organza ribbon, so I used one that was a little bit wide, and I just put a little hot glue on the end, kind of rubbed it together, and it was easy to thread through the eye hook. Now, this is a modern, easy, and quick to make, so let me know what you think of this beauty. So this is day 1 of the 12 days of Christmas, and this is a collaboration where you make Christmas ornaments on day 1. The hosts are Rustic and Lace DIYs and Crafting in Mimi's World. These are fabulous women who can DIY anything and make it look fabulous. So be sure to subscribe, like, and save. And the link to their channel is in the description box below. Now, there are other crafters out there who have made some awesome Christmas ornaments also. So be sure to subscribe and like their channels also. And the link to the playlist is in the description box below. DIY number 3, ornament on a canvas, and the flip side is a gold star. Now, I have not seen ornaments that were two-sided with something different, so let's see how this turns out. Supplies needed include a 3x3 canvas, red, gold, green, brown, and plaster acrylic paint, a toothpick, a gold star, a gold ornament hanger, and hot glue. First, the mini canvas was painted with the color plaster on the front and the back. And once it was dry, I looked in my stash and I found a gold star that just glittered. That was so cool. And I adhered the star on the back of the canvas, so it's like on the opposite side of the canvas and kind of tucked in there. Also, I found a cardboard circle. It was, I think, something that I'm going to be doing in another DIY next week or so. And I thought, this would make a nice ornament template. Hey, they say trash to treasure comes some amazing things. I took some red paint and colored in the circle. Then I removed the template and then I added some white paint for some depth. And then I took some gold paint and made a topper. And then I was trying to figure out, I was like, I am not going to be able to make a complete circle with a clear center with a brush. I'm just not going to be able to do that. So what I did, I got a toothpick, and I think it turned out fabulous. I made a little circle, and I even made the rope that was hanging down on a little tree. Brown acrylic paint was used to make a branch and some green leaves to give it just a little bit of color. And some gold thread was put into the eye of the hook and tied to prevent it from falling off the tree. And this one is so cute. And I really have not seen a two-faced ornament. As you know, sometimes with ornaments, they look nice on one side, but not the other side. So I wanted this one to be complete. This is the first, and I think this is adorable. Thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate and love each one of you. I hope you like what you've seen. And please subscribe, like, save, and comment. I'm heading toward 3,000, so I would love to get to that number in the next couple of weeks if possible. And if there is something you would like for me to make, let me know. And remember, prayer is where peace begins and worry ends. See you later. Bye-bye.